let's look at equations of circles. So an equation of a circle with center hk and radius r is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. H and k are the center of the circle. And r is the radius. And so that's all you need to write the equation of a circle, the center and the radius. This is called the standard form of the equation of the circle. If the center of the circle is the origin, then the equation is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And if we think about that, so this would be x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared, right, equals r squared. Right, well, we don't really need the zeros in there. X squared plus y squared equals r squared. And that's where the equation comes from. All right, so graph each equation. All right, so here, the center, and you have a coordinate plane. It might look slightly different than mine, but it's close enough. Let me move this down just a tad. Our center, so we have nothing added to x or y, is 0. Number 25, our radius is equal to, that 25, that's r squared, right? So our radius is going to be the square root of 25, or 5. They liked 25. They put it in both questions there. All right, so we have 0, 0. That's our center. All right, and now the easiest thing to do is just count the easy direction. I can't count diagonal 5 units. Who knows where that's going to be? But I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertically, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horizontally, and the other direction vertically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have the ability to do that, but you can just connect them the best you can. And my circle is way too big. A little smaller. Not that small. Good enough. There we go. There is our circle. X squared plus y squared equals 25. Boy, we should make it something other than 25. I guess we could do 25. We already have 25. You know what? Let's do something else other than 25. Since we already did 25. Let's make it, still make it pretty though. I just want white though. Oh, I'm supposed to turn it white. There we go. It's not too big of a graph. Let's make it 16. We'll go smaller. Right? So now our center, remember the format, it's x minus h squared plus, that's a plus, y minus k squared equals r squared. All right, so my negative is already in there. So if I have a plus, it's going to be minus a negative. So our center, the negative goes with it. That would be a 2. This one here, this is y. I don't have enough space. Let me move it down a little bit. This would be y minus a negative 1. Yes, that's what I meant to say. I think I have one too many parentheses in there on this side. There we go. All right, so that's y minus a negative 1, which means our center is 2, negative 1. The radius is equal to the square root of 16, or 4. So now let's graph that. All right, so we're going to graph the point 2, negative 1. And then we'll just count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. There we go. There we go. I have a circle tool. I can do that. But I'm sure your circle will be just fine. Oh, I did that one pretty fast. All right, so here, notice our center has been shifted. All right, so we have a circle with radius 4. It's been shifted 2 to the right and 1 down. So our center here is at 2, -1. So that shifts our whole circle. And you can see, by the way, that circles are not functions, right? If I draw a vertical line, except at the two most extreme points, I'm going to hit 2 points on the circle. And you can't isolate y, right, because it's y squared. Find an equation. So let's find an equation of the circle. All right, so we want to find an equation of the circle that has a radius of 3 and a center of 2, -5. All right, well, this is actually really easy if we just remember our format. So it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. All right, so our center is 2, -5, so that's our h and k. So we have x minus 2 squared plus, and then we're going to plug in -5 for k. That's going to be y minus a -5 squared equals, and then our radius we're given, it's right there. That's going to be 3 squared. Let's simplify that double negative and we're done. X minus 2 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 9. There's the equation of the circle with center at 2, -5 and a radius of 3. Now let's answer the second one. Now we're going to have to do a little bit more work for the second one, and we're going to have to use some of the formulas that we learned in the previous video, which namely we don't have the center, and we don't have the radius. We don't have nothing, but we do have points on the circle, and we do have, and that's really all we need. And those points on the circle, that makes up our diameter. I'm going to go grab a coordinate plane just so you can kind of see this one visually. All right, I'm going to put it over here. Can I? Oh, wait, I should have looked at the points. Can I graph it? Yeah, I can fit them on this one. All right, so 1, 8. And 5, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are, and I'm not going to try to draw the circle. Oops, there's an arrow on my line there. Well, anyway, ignore the arrow. It's not part of anything. So this right here represents a diameter. Right, so we have the point 1, 8 and the point 5, -6. Something that I know about a diameter is that a diameter is equal to twice the radius. So if I want to find the radius, that means it is half the diameter. Well, how can we find the length of the diameter? We can use the distance formula to find the length of the diameter. All right, so that means that PQ there, which is our diameter. All right, so this will be the diameter. We're going to take the square root of the difference of the x coordinates, so 1 minus 5 squared, plus the difference between the y coordinates, 8 minus a -6 squared. I said 6, but wrote 2. There we go. I have no idea where the 2 came from. All right, so 1 minus 5, it would be negative 4 squared, plus, I should give myself an extra page. That would be 8 plus 6, so that's going to be 14 squared. So that's going to be 16 plus 196. So that's going to be equal to 212. Not exactly a pretty number. Square root of 212. Let's see if we can simplify that at all. And I'm going to give us an extra page because we are a little crowded here. There, clone the page. Let's get rid of all this. And we'll move that up. Oops, one little dot of black is up there. Good enough. We won't worry about those other little pieces of black. All right, so it divides evenly into 212. Well, it's divisible by 2. That would be 106. So that would be 53. 53 is a prime number. So simplified, our diameter, 1, 2 comes out, 1, 2 goes away. This would be 2 square roots of 53. Our radius, oops, is half the diameter. So what's half of 2 square roots of 53? Just a square root of 53. So now we've got the radius, but we don't have the center. Well, where's the center going to be located? Okay. The center is going to be located midway on the diameter, right? Somewhere wherever the midpoint is, that's going to be the center of our circle. Gee, how can we find the midpoint? Well, maybe we could use the midpoint formula. So to find the center of our circle, we're just going to find the midpoint of PQ. I need to learn to write smaller. All right, so that's going to be 1 plus 5 divided by 2. That will give us the x-coordinate of the midpoint. And the y would be 8 plus negative 6 divided by 2. So that's going to be, where am I going to write it? I'll write it over here. All right, so that's going to be 6 divided by 2. And 2 divided by 2, well, that's the point 3, 1. So now we've got our center, we've got our radius, and that's all we need to write the equation. So let's write the equation. All right, so that's going to be x, so remember it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So our h was somewhere 3. H is 3, k is 1. So this is going to be x minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals the square root of 53 squared. And if you square a square root, the square and square root cancels. Right? So our final answer is going to be x minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 53. So that is the equation of the circle that has points 1, 8 and 5, negative 6 on the circle. Right? And sorry, it's a little squishy. I should have wrote a little smaller. All right, thanks for watching, and bye for now. Oh, in the next video, we'll do one more problem with circles, but this one's long enough. All right, bye for now.